Join me as I make some cinnamon raisin bread with fresh milled flour. Welcome to White Shadow Fare. Make it homemade and make it with love. So I started by getting 100 grams of raisins measured out, 122 grams of milk that I've warmed, 38 grams of butter, 80 grams of warm water, 33 grams of cane sugar, white sugar would work, 1 egg, 9 grams of vital wheat gluten, 7 grams of honey that I'm just adding to that warm water and trying to get it to melt in by stirring it in, 2 grams of salt. To keep the yeast happy, we add a little something sweet and make sure it's completely mixed into that warm water. 9 grams of yeast. Now we just give the yeast a few minutes to start to bloom, and that just means it's going to become a little bubbly. Now I am soaking my raisins in hot water for at least 15 minutes. So I just do it at the beginning and then we're ready. I just ground up some fresh hard white wheat, 300 grams in total. If this was the only thing I was making that day, I would have just ground 300 grams of wheat berries and ended up with the perfect amount of flour. But I was making various things, so I just measured out the 300 grams. Add the yeast mixture straight to your mixing bowl. You can see how bubbly and frothy that yeast became after just sitting for a few minutes. And then I'm adding my milk that I slightly warmed in the microwave. It doesn't need to be hot, just maybe take the chill off of it. The vital wheat gluten, that cane sugar or regular white sugar, 1 egg that you've cracked into a bowl so you make sure you don't get any shells or there's nothing wrong with your egg, and go ahead and add that. Melt and cool your butter. You don't want to put it in screaming hot. I add about 1/3 of the hard white wheat and my 2 grams of salt to the mixture, and then I get my mixer going. After it looks fairly well mixed in and the egg has been all broken, I drizzle in that melted butter. Then I slowly add more of the flour. If you haven't done so already, please like this video. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel. It doesn't cost you anything and it helps me out. So I'm just going to mix this up for about 1 minute until it gets completely wet. Don't worry if it looks super wet. You're going to let it sit and hydrate for at least 20 minutes. I know the yeast is in there. It will be fine. And then after that 20 minutes, you are going to knead for 5 minutes and you will notice a complete change. This dough no longer looks overly wet because it has soaked into the fresh milled flour. Your 5 minutes of kneading is going to pay off. It's going to be a beautiful dough to work with. To drain the raisins, you want to make sure that you drain them well because you'll be adding extra water if you don't. So make sure that you have them really well drained. And you're just going to stir this for about 1 minute until the raisins are completely mixed in after you did that 5 minutes of kneading. Once everything looks like it's completely kneaded in, go ahead and stop your mixer. So cover your dough, let it rest and rise for 45 minutes to an hour. If it is cold in your house, like it is in mine right now, it's probably going to take even longer than an hour. So you have to go with the temperature of your home when you're doing something like this. Sometimes I stick it in my oven just because I know there's no breeze in there, but that's still, when my house is cold, it just takes a little bit longer. And I'm touching the dough, making sure that it's not sticking all over me, and it's perfect. And I had a little bit of flour that fell off of my mixer as I was taking it apart. It already smells good in the house just with this warm dough and wonderful raisins. So there I am covering it up. And while that is happening, I'm going to make the delicious inside. I've even made this bread without the raisins and just had a cinnamon swirl bread. Delicious. The filling starts with 44 grams of cane sugar. White sugar is fine if that's all that you have. 43 grams of brown sugar. I don't know, brown sugar weighed less. That was confusing to my head, but that's what it was. And 11 grams of cinnamon. Of course, it's going to be delicious on the inside. And you will need an egg as well. That will kind of glue everything together and help it so that it doesn't really unravel. I hate when that happens with my cinnamon bread. It seems to happen every single time. So I try the egg thing and it works a little bit better. Anyway, just give this a good mix. And you're going to be sprinkling this on the inside of your dough when you roll it out at the end of its rising time. So you've got 1 egg. You want to beat that well. and you're going to brush your dough with that beaten egg. So here I am just giving it a quick mix. Cinnamon raisin bread is just one of those things that makes everybody happy when it's in the house. It smells good, it tastes wonderful. My granddaughter, who absolutely hates crust, ate almost the whole piece, and then she said, I don't even like crust. And I said, well, I'm sorry, you managed to eat it, so you're okay. So I'm going to just stretch my dough out into a large rectangle, probably about 10 inches by 18 inches in total. It can be bigger, it doesn't really matter. I just have to make sure that when I roll it up, it's going to fit into my pan. I'm using a 9 by 13 pan today. And once it has been rolled out, you're going to brush the entire surface with that beaten egg. And that is really going to help kind of glue the filling on, and it is also going to glue the edges, because when you put your filling on, you're going to leave a little bit of a border. You don't need a huge border, maybe a ½ an inch to an inch. It's also important that when it comes time for rolling it up, you roll it up nice and tight so that it doesn't unravel on you. And now we're going to spread that cinnamon mixture over top of the dough, and I just kind of gently shake it, and then I use my fingers to kind of push it in at the end. Don't worry about it if it's not perfect. Nobody is judging you, and trust me, they're going to eat it whether it looks great or not, because it's going to taste wonderful. So as I said, don't take the cinnamon goodness all the way to the edge. Leave a little bit there. It'll just help it stick back together a little bit better. You put too much filling in there, and I have been tempted to do that on many occasions, have tried it. It really kind of just falls apart. So when you roll this up, you want to be very tight about this. So you need to kind of roll and pull back and roll and pull back. You need to make sure it's very tight, or it will unroll and you'll have holes in your bread because that filling isn't holding it together as much as you'd like. And that is all there is to it. Then I give it a good pinch, make sure it's completely closed, and I stick it inside my lined pan. Especially for something like this, you want to have a lined pan because some of that sugar could melt out into your pan and it would be very difficult to remove it. I find that a piece of parchment paper, I use these silicone mat liners, and you're going to let that rise once again about 45 minutes to an hour. On a warm day, that's all it's going to take. On a cold day, it might take 2 hours. You're looking for it to be about 1.5 inches to 2 inches above the side of the pan. You're going to stick this in a preheated 350-degree oven. You're going to cook it for at least 30 minutes and then go ahead and take the internal temperature. You're going to cool it before you cut into that. Well, cool it completely actually, but you're going to be very tempted. It is so delicious. It smells great. This makes fantastic French toast. Never hurts to double or triple this recipe because it goes fast. I hope you give this one a try. It is 100% worth the effort. Thank you so much for joining me at White Shadow Fare. I hope you have a great day.